Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I just want to go over this new pre workout that I got called Naked Energy. And the reason why I especially want to go over this one is because it's actually really good in a unique way that makes it quite different from a lot of the other pre workouts I've had. And in terms of ingredients, it's very similar to many other types of mainstream pre-workouts you could imagine. Just looking here, it has vitamin B12, 47.6 micrograms. It has beta alanine, 2 grams of that. Creatine monohydrate, there's 1 gram. L-arginine, 1 gram. There's caffeine, 200 milligrams of that in a 2-scoop serving. It's got some sugar in it, 9 grams of that. Vitamin A, vitamin C, B3, B6, calcium. And you can just hear based on that this has some pretty typical pre-workout ingredients in it. But what is kind of crazy about Naked Energy that for me just took things to a new level is because this is so well made in terms of it being very pure in the ingredients. It has no wheat, no gluten, no soy, no dairy, no preservatives or artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors. So this is something that even vegans and vegetarians can have. I mean, I'm not a vegan, but again, it's quite open to a lot of dietary restrictions because it's so clean in how it's made. It doesn't really give me a down. I don't really feel much of a psychological down that you can sometimes see with other pre-workouts where there's, almost, in some cases it's so overwhelming, it's like a depression almost. And, some of those I had to just stop taking because the after effects were just not good. And some other pre-workouts could sometimes make you feel zany, think like Jacked or, something like that, or Mr. Hyde. This doesn't have that. And it's not that it doesn't have a semblance of energy for you. You definitely feel alert and like I can, run or lift and feel that extra boost of energy. It just doesn't have a lot of the negative side effects that I felt from other pre-workouts. And so I was very impressed by this. And I've tried it now for over a month and I just, cannot help but love it. And it's a non-GMO too for those who, care about that. I don't personally care too much, but just another, factor for it. And, with that in mind, this is something that is very accessible for a lot of people, especially someone like me who has certain allergies. This is, a great pre-workout to use if you may have one of those allergies to listed ingredients that's just not in here. The only downside is that I would say the flavor isn't all that great. This is fruit punch, and there's a raw one that has no flavoring. But I read that was just a lot, like kind of too bitter for most people. So I got the fruit punch, and it still has kind of a bitter tinge to it. And the fruit punch is kind of underwhelming. Some describe it as close to a type of a medicine fruit punch flavor. I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. I think that it's got a little tinge of sweetness, a little tinge of bitterness, but totally manageable. I don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna be nauseous or throw up because of it. Some might, but I don't think that this quite qualifies, at least the fruit punch version, of making you feel really nauseous or sick by the flavor itself. And some pre-workouts, that aren't as clean have that effect too. So you just gotta test and see. But from what I've seen, if you're looking for a pre-workout that doesn't make you feel that huge letdown after, not the big depression, that doesn't make you feel too zany when you're working out, like a little bit crazed, and doesn't make you feel sluggish or weird after, this could be a good option. It definitely, because it is such a ingredient clean product that is not a lot of artificial sweeteners and other types of allergy potential ingredients. I think it just makes for a very great energy booster. So I personally would recommend giving it a try, especially if you're like me and just want something that helps you feel the energy but doesn't make you feel like you're going crazy afterward, or you're just slumped in this letdown, this emotional letdown after. So this to me is next level in terms of a pre-workout where you don't feel gross afterward. So if you're looking for a combination too, and you're looking for something that's protein plus a pre-workout that makes you feel clean, you can check out my Orgain video too, because that not pre-workout, the protein powder is also excellent in the same genre of, making you feel good, not making you feel too bloated. So this is a really good combination with the Orgain as well. So check it out. There's a link down below as well as a link to the Orgain, and hopefully this is something that you end up enjoying. And if you want it to taste a little bit better, potentially, you could always do a club soda, type of seltzer water that's maybe, lightly flavored. If you want to just boost it, you can get like a raspberry and just mix it in, and it might give it a little bit more palatable taste. But for me, I've done both. I've done a little seltzer water, done just regular water. I mean, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? You're just doing it whenever you're working out, and a little bitter, a little sweet, but nothing that's unbearable or overwhelmingly unbearable. All right, thanks everybody, and I will talk to y'all later.